Hey everyone, it's Lily. So I just finished Penacony's story and my god, it's so good. I won't talk about the story since it isn't finished yet, but I'm absolutely hooked on the exploration. I almost forgot that I'm playing a turn-based RPG. Kudos to the mastermind behind the Penacony map. Seriously, they deserve a raise. I love the puzzles, I love the new mechanics, like this bird's eye view, for example, is pure genius. And this reflection thing is my favorite puzzle in the entire game. It requires imagination over IQ to solve. Sometimes the answer's right under our noses, but we're too blind to see it. The new characters introduced are interesting too. Some memorable ones are Aventurine, Sparkle, who has been a controversy these past few days. Sam also made his debut, and we immediately see his showdown against Acheron. Speaking of Acheron, at one point I praised her design, but surprisingly, her personality in the story didn't impress me at all. On the flip side, Black Swan stole the show for me. Her entrance was spectacular. The scene where she displayed an ability similar to Ruler's authority gave me goosebumps. I like her personality too, so at the end of the story, I decided to pull her. I will review Black Swan as a playable character too in this video, so stay tuned. In summary, my overall experience with Penacony is good. The new monsters are interesting and fresh. I can see how problematic they can be once they're introduced in Memory of Chaos. I can't wait for the new areas that will be released in future updates. Now let's talk about Black Swan. My first impression of Black Swan can be summed up in one sentence: confusing skill description. The descriptions are overly complex, making her gameplay seem more confusing than it actually is. Please, Hoyoverse, hire someone else to write your skill descriptions. I'm not going to make you even more confused with my interpretation in my broken English. Instead, I'll cut straight to the chase and explain what she does. Black Swan's entire gameplay centers around applying a debuff called Arcana. Arcana is a strong wind DOT that can stack up to 50 times. With each stack, the DOT grows stronger. Moreover, Black Swan triggers additional effects when certain stack thresholds are reached. At 3 stacks or more, she deals wind DOT to adjacent targets and applies Arcana to them. When the stacks reach 7 or more, the current DOT ignores 20% of the target and adjacent target's defense. You can read the multipliers in-game, but this is the basic concept. Now, how does Black Swan apply Arcana? There are 6 ways: through her technique, her basic attack, skill, enemies entering battle, enemies receiving DOT, and when an ally detonates DOT on enemies. Her ultimate has an effect that enhances Arcana even further, but I'll get to that later. In addition to her Arcana abilities, Black Swan also offers supporting abilities. Her skill can reduce enemies' defense, and her ultimate increases the damage taken by enemies. However, at her core, she's a DPS character. In terms of gears, she's not complicated to build as well. It's pretty straightforward, actually. In most cases, Black Swan has 65% base chance of applying Arcana. If you want to eliminate the RNG factor from Arcana application, you'll require 120% effect hit rate for regular mobs and elite enemies, or 160% for bosses. However, aiming for 160% may be excessive, so 120% might be the more realistic goal. Besides, there's also a reason why 120% is Black Swan's magic number. One of her traces increases her damage by 60% of her effect hit rate, up to a maximum damage increase of 72%. What is 72 divided by 60? Exactly 1.2 or 120%. Thus, 120% effect hit rate should be the target to maximize her damage bonus. The best relic set to achieve that goal is without a doubt the Prisoner set. This set is made for DOT characters, so it will fit perfectly with Black Swan. Full set is preferable, and mixing it with Musketeer set, Wind set, or the Pioneer set can be seen as viable alternatives. As for the planar ornaments, 3 options stand out as equally effective: SSS, Glamoth, and PCC. Statistically, these ornaments offer similar damage boosts. However, PCC might hold an advantage as it aids in stacking effect hit rate. That's it. As a DOT character, players don't need to think about crit ratio, only attack, effect hit rate, and speed. Upon reviewing her kit, it's evident that she doesn't quite align with the break team strategy. Kafka, although a DOT-type character as well, serves as a detonator, making her contribution viable for the break team's objectives. However, Black Swan is a pure-blood like Sampo. Even though her element is wind, which is one of the strongest elements out there, the substantial damage loss incurred from prioritizing break effect over attack makes it not worth it. So I'm not going to use her. My decision to pull her was primarily based on my affinity for her character in the story after all. It's fine if she ends up becoming a trophy in my account. There is a fun fact about Black Swan, and that's coming from Pridwin. They say she has a caveat. The fact that she deals too much damage, they are afraid it can impact the player's fun, if all it takes is Black Swan sighing at the enemies to turn them to dust against more than one enemy. It reminds me of when I was binge reading solo leveling manga. The story was fun in the beginning, but as the main character's strength overshadowed that of other human characters, I started to lose interest. Maybe that's what Pridwin means. However, I'm certain many people won't mind given Black Swan's undeniable appeal. Moving to Misha, my primary target in version 2.0, I'm still in the middle of building him. I won't be farming Relic because I have other priority. For the time being, he will be using this quantum set. I do intend to maximize his talents though, with the exception of his basic attack, of course. While I've heard mixed reviews about his performance, my limited experience with him prevents me from forming a definitive opinion. So that's my review of Penacony's story quest and Black Swan. Are you as pleased with this new update as I am? Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and Happy Lunar New Year!